Here we are in Letterkenny tonight, and behind me you see yet again a massive crowd out for Martin McGuinness, and I'm proud. I mean, in Donegal we see him as one of our own. His mother's from just outside Buncrana. Martin himself would see himself as half a Donegal man, but the people of Donegal love Martin McGuinness. He's a great man, and this is an answer to those 26 county establishment figures who would look to criminalise Martin and criminalise everything that he stands for, and they're getting their answer tonight, and I've no doubts that in a couple of weeks' time the Irish people will give their answer to those elements who abandon the people of the North, and they'll demonstrate that Martin can be the people's president.
During the Dini, indeed, the people's president, does that have much resonance to the people of Donegal?
Absolutely. I mean, Martin's a man of the people. I mean, look at, he earns 116,000 sterling a year and takes home about, £360 a week. It's paid the same as the men who drive him around. That's leadership. That's leading by example. And these really, really tough times, people are sick of the huge salaries, they're sick of the fancy meals, the fancy wheeling dealing. They want somebody who understands what they're going through, and that's why he will be the people's president, because he lives a life which is off the people. He's from the people, off them, and he always has been, and he always will be.
Absolutely electric, and I think if the fourth Greenfield could vote, we definitely would elect Martin McGuinness. There is an atmosphere in the 6 counties that's absolutely palpable on one hand, with the excitement of the opportunity and the possibilities of the people of Ireland, because the people of Ireland do not just need a candidate that has got the confidence in their ability to deliver the message. The people of Ireland need a candidate that is going to create the confidence in the people itself. And I think that's the candidate is Martin McGuinness. And we are fed up and really sick to our stomach that we cannot vote in this election. But that said, I'm hoping that the people in the 26 counties will do the right thing and vote for the people's president, someone who is going to build the confidence in this state of the people, and that's what's required.
It really is a great honour to be asked to run for the presidency of my country, and that if I am elected and honoured by the people of Ireland to be President of Ireland, I passionately want to be the President of all of Ireland's 32 counties. Of course, they tell me that up until now, my candidature was announced at the campaign for the presidency of Ireland was very dull. And for some reason they tell me that my involvement in it has electrified the race. It certainly has electrified those who are hostile to Irish republicanism. A woman came up to me in Tala the other day, this is absolutely true, and she must have been about 70 years of age, and she said, Martin, where were you in 1916? And she was really angry. Not that I wasn't in the post office. She was angry because she said if they had their way they would blame me for 1916. And for a war of independence if they could get away with it. And of course they've all had their say. And Guy Mitchell, who found it difficult on behalf of Donegal to get the campaign off the ground, thought the way that he would try to ignite his campaign was by attacking me. And oh, did he make a big mistake. And of course he said during the late debate, Martin, you're no Nelson Mandela. Well, I never claimed to be anything like that. But I resisted saying, yeah, you're no Michael Collins. I also resisted saying, yeah, let's go back in time, nearly 100 years, and you and I are standing before Michael Collins, or Parry Pierce, or James Connolly. And they had to decide which of the two of us was going to go into the GPO with them. Who do you think they would decide? So, whatever about what they say, my faith is in the people of Ireland. And I have travelled around this country over the course of the last 2 weeks, and I can tell you folks, the reception has been absolutely fantastic everywhere we go. And I think the plain people of Ireland are with us. So I've embarked on a very interesting challenge. So, as all of you know, Derry and Donegal have had a long and very close history. And as all of you also know, the partition of Ireland has had a very deep and damaging and lasting impact on both. Economically, politically and socially, partition was a disaster for Donegal and Derry. And I think, thankfully, for the success of the peace process, that's undoing the worst effects of partition, but there is still much further to go. In this presidential campaign, I have spoken about giving a voice to the voiceless. And for me, this isn't just a slogan, because I believe that for far too long, ordinary people in this country have been silenced by a political class who have put themselves before the people, and indeed before Ireland. Silenced and robbed by greedy bankers and speculators who have used Irish citizens in a high-risk game of international poker. And as far as I am concerned, these are among the most unpatriotic people ever to set foot on Irish soil. And of course, as we all now know, their gamble didn't pay off, and we all know that that was inevitable. What was not inevitable was that the ordinary people of Ireland would be left to pick up the tab. And I think that was a very conscious decision taken by certain politicians when the bankers and the speculators called in their favours and demanded that the state and the people covered their backs. And I often hear some individuals trying to defend the greed of those who crippled this country and trod out the line that sure, the Celtic Tiger, everybody was at it, everybody partied, and that we all lost the run of ourselves. Well, the tens of thousands of ordinary people now left struggling to pay their mortgages, the people standing at airports waving their children off to the United States of America and Australia, the people struggling to pay for the basics of life, the people left to pick up the Anglo tab, they were not the people who lost their run themselves. And we were not all participants in the big party. Indeed, there are parts of this country that never saw the Celtic Tiger. The west of Ireland and the border counties were ignored by the political elite in Dublin, who felt that such places really didn't count. They believed that certain people and their concerns didn't matter because they weren't at the party. To them, the idea of equality and citizenship and patriotism meant absolutely nothing. As far as I'm concerned, patriotism is about your country, it's about your people, it's about your family, it's not about yourself. And I have news for those who think in selfish terms. I've struggled for 40 years to be treated as a first-class citizen. And I can guarantee the Irish people that under my presidency, every citizen in Ireland will be a first-class citizen. This is now a very exciting time. The elections are on. The people have to decide, and I place my faith in the Irish people whatever their judgment is. But I am going forward as a very proud Irish Republican and a Democrat, and someone who passionately wants to be the next president of every one of Ireland's 32 counties.
Absolutely electrifying. I think the crowd here are just over the moon, and Martin McGuinness gave a very inspiring, uplifting speech, and we in Donegal need that. You know, we know all too well the effects of the recession really beating down hard on the people that are unemployed, and the amount of young people particularly that have left this county and are planning to leave this county as a result of, you know, just all of the negativity that's going on in the country. But Martin McGuinness' his presence here tonight shows that there is hope, that there is, you know, that when a leader emerges through the mist of the doom and gloom and all the rest, that people really can have hope. And the amount of young people here tonight, you know, just shows that as well, that they're looking and waiting for somebody of the calibre of Martin McGuinness, who's proved that he can do it on the ground in the north over the last 30 and 40 years, transforming society there, and they just want a taste of that here in the rest of the 26 counties, so that we can have a president for all of Ireland and give us that type of inspiration and hope. And that's what he's delivered here tonight, and people are very much up and at it, and will get out there and work their socks off to the 27th of October, getting everybody out and voting for the people's president.
Well, chintu an skefche agus on medini tan shaw agus an baru at an shaw goal luher ahananya goal Martin McGuinness a genu enediacht aring agus goal she a gal suas fahanne tegen an nuachtere nacht. Hanik met je nacht gur far chaili, far nedre, far a wol na trihe agus na buane a ligige a taye our stage tan balance aga merger hat tan karmi aga taken cha and seal polychul agus taken cha grey heel na nini agus ten recipe cart aga agus shilumse gur cart a hananya hachtma agus everyhin or the Martin McGuinness shacht do atihit agus tama interbrodeles agus tama interbrodel as much Donegal a hompai ma na geti agus na geti in Chonok agus luhar welchnarm ihe intawo ihe brodel da Donegal agus ihe brodel da eirin yeligele tan Shaw agus gurmile ma hiket.
It's a time of change for the Irish people, because a vote for Martin McGuinness is a vote for all of the people across the nation, and I think that message came across very strong in his speech tonight. I mean, he also speaks about his great work in the past and his negotiating skills, and to me a president is more than a figurehead. You need somebody in there who has the courage and the grad to stand up when things are wrong, to ask and to say this is wrong and we need to do something about this. Because for too long the president has been seen as much of a yes person or working with the government, but I think a vote for Martin McGuinness will be beyond that, because he's not afraid to stand up to them. He has the skills that's needed in a president to negotiate and make things right for the ordinary people. So I think that's a great skill that he has, and he's going to take with him if he does be elected or president of this country. And I mean, the people do not know what they're going to be missing out on if he does not get this presidency, because it's a message of hope, and he will do the best for the people of Ireland.
I think the big thing was just honesty and clarity. That was the big thing. He's honest in terms of what he wants to do. It's clear what he is. He's got the background. He's leadership. He's somebody there I can say, he's someone I can see with the country, and for me to see what he's going to bring towards, not only just for the country as it stands, but has a direction towards the future, which I feel a lot of the other candidates haven't set out. They haven't said what's the long-term goals, and I think for Martin has set out there, it's not just for the short term, but into the future, particularly for what would be something very important to me too, would be United Ireland. And I think as a Donegal man in particular, to have what is my neighbours, Derry and Tyrone, as part and parcel of the whole thing, that's where I want to see it, and that's where I think the President should be looking towards. And it's only a pity that there isn't more of the rest of the parties working towards what he's looking towards to do.